Welcome back everybody to Dan Has Fun, playing more Advance Wars 2. This time around, mentioned it last episode, we're doing the Sonya mission in Fog of War, where we think the lab map is. And we're going to skip that text again. So, Showstopper, Mission 11. And there's a lot going on here. We have to capture that giant fortress. I'll take it from here, Sonya. I'll talk about you in a moment. This map, this is the first map, so back when this game first came out, what feels like a million years ago, but it was close to 2 decades ago. This is the first map as a kid that I actually had some difficulty with when I played it. Why? The AI behavior, and I mentioned it last episode about how the AI loves to cheat in Fog of War. This map really abuses that. So, there's a lot, relatively speaking, of units back here. Ada doesn't have any bases, but he has quite a lot of pre-deployed units. And the thing that makes this map frustrating is that because the AI is cheating, he can see your units, but you can't see theirs. So when you get into their range, they will then attack you. You actually have to complete this mission too by breaking all of the cannons. I don't remember which city the map is on. I could look it up and cheat. I think it's either this one, I think, or maybe that one. Could be that one. I think it's on the bottom side anyway. I don't think it's up here. Anyway, he has a lot of units. I don't actually remember. That's not what I meant to click. Yeah, he starts with 26 units, and you start with none. This is none whatsoever. Yeah, nothing. And it's not just like he has 26 infantry units. There are tanks, there are medium tanks, there are rockets. I think there's even a couple of bombers in here. There's a lot that's going on. And he will move a significant portion of those units out here straight away. So there's 2 rules of thumb really about this. This base you will probably be able to get without too much of a rush. This base, on the other hand, it is a bit of a challenge sometimes. But you desperately don't want him to get a base, because then he'll just destroy you with how much money he has. Let's talk about our CO, though, before we get too far ahead of ourselves. So it'd be Sonya. I know there's a J. I'm not going to pronounce it like it's a J, like I would have done as a kid. So she has more Fog of War vision, which would be awesome if you weren't playing against the computer who cheats anyway. Same with hiding your HP. So obviously everything up to now, you've been able to see how many hit points an enemy is at. If you are playing against a Sonya, you have to memorize what they have either from the battle animations, or more likely, you're playing against Sonya in real life, you're probably not playing with battle animations on, so you don't know. So you have to try and memorize everything you can. It also says counterattacks are slightly stronger. I've never noticed that. I mean, I've noticed that it says that, but I don't know if that's actually true by default. Anyway. Enhanced vision just gives more vision, and she can see into woods and reefs, you know, as if they were just regular tiles. Counterbreak does the same thing, but the way this is explained is terrible. So her counterattacks are kind of stronger in the sense that they will do more damage, but it's not actually an increased amount of strength. From what I'm aware of, and I could be wrong here, again, haven't played this in a while, I'm pretty sure if Sonya is on a superpower, if she's attacked first, her units do as much, you know, effectively deal as if they were the one attacking first, from a practical perspective. So if, you know, character A attacks Sonya, who is character B, even though A is the aggressor, B does the damage kind of first, and it looks weird as a result, because it doesn't technically change how the visuals show. You'll see what I mean anyway. Beyond that, no attack or defense bonuses, or penalties even. So, 9,000 off the bat. We probably want to go APC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, drop. So it does have to be an infantry, not a mech. And then we're just going to build a regular infantry to start trying to capture this. If he captures more cities, it's fine. You just can't have him capture a base. And as you heard in the background, that was the sound of a bomber, I'm pretty sure. That's a battle copter. You can kind of roughly tell by the background sounds what units he has. But it's a lot of tank bait or tread units. So we're going to slowly meander this way for now. This is going to go up here like that. We're then going to get a mech. And because we're not the AI, we're going to get a couple of recons because we can't see anything. We don't care if the AI gets a port, really. That's not a huge issue if they do, because they would probably just build a lander and not move it. Realistically, so that's not a big problem, but the bases are an absolute no-go. So we're going to start doing that immediately. Meanwhile, that wants to sit there, so that can start to happen. Again, we don't really care if they start to get this. We're more just interested in sitting near it so we can see what's coming towards us. Still can't see anything. Still can't see anything. I'm tempted to get an artillery and then just a couple of infantry to protect myself with it. Because again, I don't think the AI cheats when you're actually in forest, for example. I don't think it cheats in the same way, anyway. I could have sworn he started with units closer to you than this, but again, that's what happens when you have most of your memories from childhood, right? Anyway, we got that base, which is important. We're going to have that sit here. There's an APC, which is why it's super important to get out there. He can see us here, but at least it means he can't capture it. Meanwhile, I don't think he'll be able to reach my unit there. I don't think. Anyway, we'll see. I'm going to start getting these units ready to go. I don't really want to go too aggressive with that artillery. Get a tank and a mech. There is going to be a little bit of unit spam off the bat here. Because I don't remember what all the dangers are yet. There's the bomber. I was hoping that we'd have an extra turn before he got involved, so I'm going to have to get an anti-air next turn, which is unfortunate. I thought we got one more turn before he rocked up, but apparently not. Do you see what I mean by you had to build this stuff quickly? It's craziness. Like, if you don't get a move on this map, you just die, like, immediately. To the point where I can't even start capturing that now. And I can't even build a unit here. That's terrible. That's just so bad. Okay. So, we're going to try and bait in this bomber. Get an anti-air. Get the mech. Get that out there. I'm tempted to even... because here's the problem. I have to keep something down here. I wonder if I can get him to go after that unit, because the anti-air 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be able to hit it if it went there. And I'm just going to do that so they've got a distraction to attack effectively. That'll do absolutely no damage at all. And I'm just going to put in a token infantry there so they get distracted. The other thing to bear in mind, though, and it is a thought, because he doesn't have a base, I don't remember how many infantry and mech units he has. It is very tempting just to attack this. I will almost certainly lose the recon But if I can take out their mechs and infantry, it actually doesn't really matter. There's another mech. Like, it's an unfair map. Even in regular difficulty, it's a pretty unfair map. So effectively what happens, you have to sponge the attacks as they come in, and not give them a base, then just slowly repel them. So we have enough, you know, kind of infantry spam. We're going to start building a lot of anti-airs, because anti-airs do okay against recons as well. And then we'll slowly be able to push back, and eventually he'll just run out of units. There we go. So his bomber did get distracted. That is fine. I mean, it's not great. I'm going to lose almost all of my vision, but, you know, that's not too bad. And then a couple of his recons should get distracted dealing with this infantry. Oh, their tanks got distracted as well. The other tank will probably take the, you know, knock out the unit in the base. The battlecopter hopefully will come towards us. Hopefully, and not just sit where my base is. The AI doesn't usually do that in this game. Yeah, there's another battlecopter. Unfortunately, he didn't move to where I needed him to go in order to actually attack him with my anti-air this turn. But at least we know where he is. And we haven't seen anybody... Okay, nobody's on that base. Okay. So now what we're going to do is bravely run away and put our unit there, just to make sure that a mech doesn't try and capture it. We do have to be careful, though, because we now have to do this so that we don't get attacked by tanks. We have to be so careful. Again, we're just putting a unit in there literally just so they have to waste time dealing with it, because there's the mech. That's the unit we have to worry about. We want to see if we can bait over the bomber to attack that infantry, ideally. And we also want to get another recon, because the recon doesn't enjoy attacking the mech, because the mech will hit it hard back. But again, if I can take out the mechs, they can't capture anything from me. And also, having an infantry there over and over is going to stop them progressing with all of their units towards me at once. Yeah, this is a very weird mission. You take a real smashing at the start, and then you have to try and fire back once, you know, the AI starts running out of ammo or fuel, or starts spreading out too much. You really got to get going at that point. Luckily, though, I think we made the right decision off the bat in damaging one of the mechs, so it will really slow his capture game down, because I don't think he has very many units that can capture. He has a few, but I don't think he has more than maybe 3 of them. At least not 3 that move forwards anyway. Maybe he has more afterwards. Yep. They're obsessively going to go after the infantry, which is fine. That's why we build so many of them at the start of this mission, because you just got to spam them out. Nothing else you can really do, practically, here. You just spam them out, and the AI will always go for the attack. Unfortunately, I attracted both of his battlecopters in and not the bomber, which is a little bit disappointing, especially because the bomber is in a place where it can effectively cover those guys. There's the mech. So here's the problem. This has a movement of stone. It's actually running out of fuel, which is also funny because on this map there's no airport. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm clearly still going to attack these battlecopters, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be without taking damage. And these guys conveniently walked in towards my artillery range, which is nice of them as well. Got a pretty good roll there, which is nice. Yeah, we're just going to take both of these battlecopters out. It does mean we're going to get hit by a bomber and probably by a tank as well. But these battlecopters, as you saw last episode when, you know, when we were Sensei, they just ruin you. Even regular strength battlecopters can be very, very difficult to deal with. And just, they're so cost effective is really the biggest issue. Yeah, we'll attack that one. There we go, that's a nice cost-effective trade. Now, here's the problem. I'm going to have to walk in here and attack this mech. It means I'm going to get countered, and I'm going to get hit by artillery, and this unit's probably going to die. But again, if you can do enough damage to the capture units so that they really can't do anything, that's all that matters early. I'm going to hide that there. Put that in to cover. They can now sneak around and attack this artillery, which they will probably do. That's going to hide for a moment. But at this point, we're pretty safe. We are going to build one more anti-air, though, just in case. And this recon is here purely so that I can then chip away at that mech if things need to go that way. There's the infantry. I was sure they had more than just the two mechs. But again, if they capture that port, I don't care. As long as they don't take a base. Yeah, and here they are. The tanks are going to chip away at my artillery. They're not going to do a huge amount, but that's fine. Yeah, they're both going to go for it. They'll probably knock it down to like 6. Yeah, there you go. That's absolutely fine. It's going to cost me a little bit in maintenance, but no big deal. This is a little bit more annoying, though. Well, that's what I said before. Recons don't really like attacking mechs, because mechs do so much back to them. We actually might stalemate this guy out, which is nice. Probably not. Actually, he looks like he has virtually 2 full hit points. He's actually going to try and chip me away with his recon. And yeah, he did too. He got a good hit on that. Got a nice lucky hit. And he actually, as a result, might take this unit out. Oh, he didn't. This time he did not get lucky. Does he have any other units that want to have a stab at it? No. I'd love to know where that bomber went. I thought it was going to come up this way. It's why I moved the APC, but apparently that didn't happen, so I don't know where he went. But these roads mean the group of recons is going to walk in and like ruin my day, effectively. But they don't seem to have any tanks up there, just the 2 tanks here. So we're going to attack this recon, obviously, because the artillery can't do much in terms of movement. Not quite a full shot, which is unfortunate. It is tempting with Sonya because of how her superpower works. It is tempting to use it at the end of the turn. Especially because he's definitely going to use his next turn. So I might end up doing that. And then you might be able to see what I mean by the weird counter-attacking order. Oh wow, that was unfortunate. What do we want to do here? Do I want to take this mech out? Oh, I can't reach it. Oh. And that's definitely not going to be a wipeout, although that will delay him a turn, so it's definitely worth doing. And it'll distract the bomber for another turn, hopefully, too. Because, yeah, there's the bomber. It only has 20 fuel left. We are going to use our superpower this turn. Because that will give us an increase to our defense when he attacks me with his superpower and gets the extra movement rather than extra power. That will certainly help. This extra vision's nice. We know an anti-air is there. Not that we have an airport or anything, but it's nice to know that it's there. Meanwhile, in terms of units here, I'm going to put this recon out here to see if he'll get distracted by it. Wow, that was a rubbish roll as well. I wonder if... Do I want to really delay you? I don't really care, so I'm going to attack this artillery instead and just chip it a bit more. Like that. So that I'm not just getting my unit immediately wasted that sat here. I'm just going to put a regular tank there and see what they do. Meanwhile, this mech can take out the remnants of the recon. That's fine. And then I guess we're going to have to use this anti-air to take out this tank. Oh, we got another rubbish roll. I'm pretty sure, I don't think I mentioned it, I'm pretty sure Sonya gets a different luck roll than everybody else. I think she gets just worse luck in general. So you will see that happen frustratingly often. I'm worried if I put the anti-air there that the bomber will actually attack it and possibly wipe us. But I have a defense bonus, so I don't think it will. Even though I'm going to get chipped for a percentage or two. Like that, and then... Do I care about that tank being there? Not really. The only thing that's going to suck is that these recons are going to walk in and attack this artillery. And there's not very much I can do about it. So I guess I might as well use this to take it out. It's a little bit wasteful, but it's probably better than sitting in a forest anyway. And we only have 2,000 left. We still haven't got that property, which is amusing. So I'm going to put this APC here and see if the bomber will go after it. Because that would actually be perfect. Alright, so his +2 movements coming in. Let's see what he does. And while he gets set up... Oh, let me just stretch in the chair. There we go, that was nice. Unsurprisingly, artillery is going to slap more damage onto my base unit. But now, yeah, that didn't do much of anything. Oh, the bomber didn't actually attack me. That's interesting. As we said, the recon is going to attack my artillery because I had one movement too few to actually protect it. But it's still fine. This isn't really a big deal. The artillery has done its job. It's, you know, sponged a lot of attacks and has attracted in a lot of enemies and still done some pretty good damage back. Some pretty mild recon on recon violence. Here's the anti-air. Now that he's got a +2 movement, it's decided to move down here instead of the bomber that I wanted, but what can you do? Alright. That's fine. That was an okay turn. Nothing disastrous happened. Move that out of the way. How much damage are you going to do? Not quite a full kill, but it's pretty close enough. You get that a lot with Sonya, leaving a hit point or two. This is going to hurt a bit, but I still think it's going to be a reasonable trade. And then that way I can use this to pretty much kill it. Not quite, but, you know, make it irrelevant. That bomber is now in place for me to attack too, which is nice. We should definitely be taking this opportunity, though, to attack this artillery. And then this might actually kill it. That unit was very, very frustrating. I'm very glad that it's gone. Alright, so beyond that, what do we want to do? We are going to definitely move our artillery back out of the way. I'm just going to use our anti-air to take this out. We will not need to build more anti-air this mission. We have more than enough. And we definitely want to attack... Here's the thing, that bomber... Oh, he just got... Yeah, he got resupplied by that APC. I was going to say, we could technically leave it to die from lack of resources, but that won't happen now. So yeah, we are going to have to attack it. We don't care about it anymore because it can't heal. This is boxed in, which is funny. But I'm hoping I'll get a reasonable roll and kill this thing. Hooray! So we might have just one infantry left and one mech, possibly? We're going to take that mech out now. So we might have it just... There's one unit left we have to worry about in terms of the capture game. And then we can start actually doing the thing the mission wants us to do, which would be nice. We're going to get that in there. We are going to build a tank so we can take that anti-air out. And then we're just going to put a regular infantry there. And then, as I said, starting from next turn, we shouldn't have to spam any units out. We should start being able to save for better units. Pretty Rude's going to take that tank out, but not much I can do about it. But a 3 hit point bomber is really not that worrying. I'm just going to take it out next turn to say I can get rid of it, but it's not a very dangerous enemy at this point. So more mild Jeep-based violence. And the anti-air's gone up there. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. Not an issue at all. Okay, so he did repel his attack. He didn't attack me there, which is interesting, but okay. So we have done the main force repelling. Thank you for watching the video.